So before we get into some examples, let's continue with our second two types of slopes. So we had positive slope, negative slope, and then zero slope is a line that's horizontal. So horizontal lines have zero slope. And an undefined slope, think about if you're just dropping straight down. Vertical lines have no slope or undefined slope. So now that we have figured out the 4 different ways slopes can look, let's calculate some slopes together without having to graph first. So this is helpful when we have our slope formula memorized. I'm going to go ahead and write it here again, just so that we can refer to it quickly on this page. So let's do the first 2 together, and then we'll leave these 2 as a warm-up to do in class. So the first thing I should identify is which coordinate is my first point and which coordinate is my second point. It really doesn't matter. So I usually like to say the first one is x1 and y1, and my second point is x2 and y2. Labeling my points initially helps to prevent me from substituting them into this formula incorrectly. So let's remind ourselves m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Well, that's pretty simple now that we've labeled. What is y2? 1. Minus y1, 3. What is x2? 2. Minus, what is x1? It is a negative 2. So notice I put those parentheses there mostly because I was plugging in a negative and I don't want to confuse myself. So let's simplify this expression. My numerator becomes negative 2. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. My denominator, remember when you subtract a negative, these cancel. So that's negative 2 over 4. Now, we always simplify our answer. M equals negative 1/2. That is a negative slope. That is a negative slope. So that means my rise is negative 1 and my run is 2 if I was graphing this. So let's get on to the second example here. Once again, I'm going to label, almost labeled incorrectly, x1, y1, and x2, y2. Sorry about those. So now I can plug into my slope formula. y2 minus y1, change in y. x2 minus x1, change in x. So now I can plug in negative 9 minus 3 on my y2 minus y1, and 4 minus negative 6 on my denominator. Negative 9 minus 3 is negative 12. 4 minus a negative 6 changes to plus a positive, and that becomes positive 10. Always simplify any answer. 12 over 10 reduces to be negative 6 over 5. That is my rise and my run visually. So once again, let's leave these 2 to do as a warm-up together in class. So this will be part of our 5-1 warm-up. Okay, let's keep it going.